watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, because what you hears today, you got to tell the birthed tomorrow. I'm looking behind us now, across the count of time, down the long hall, into history back. I seized the end, what with the start. And somebody did come.
All right, as usual, we're having our usual technical difficulties. Our apologies, getting started a little late, and I'm still trying to catch up on stuff here. Welcome, everybody, to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's, I don't know, what do you say, enjoying a holiday this Memorial Day?
Yeah, you're not working, so
you're not working.
You hope you're not working.
Well, true, and you shouldn't be working.
Right.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. I almost feel kind of weird saying Happy Memorial Day or hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day.
Yeah, that's a better way to do it. Yeah, enjoying Memorial Day and being with your families and thanking the families of the veterans that paid the ultimate price that allow us to have the lives we have.
There you go. Yeah. Greg Halvorsen is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Hello. Been trying to get Greg here for a while. Happy he's here. Memorial Day, originally known as Decoration Day, is a federal holiday in the United States for honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. Do you have any family or do you have connections to somebody?
My dad fought in Korea.
Oh, no kidding.
He went in very early start of the Korean War. He was one of the first groups of American infantry into Korea.
Wow.
Got shot twice.
No kidding.
Purple Heart winner.
Wow.
Shot in the ass, and he took a shrapnel to his head where he had a scar above his eye for the rest of his life.
No shit.
He did a year of service in Korea.
So I was gonna say he's Hawkeye Pierce because he was in Korea, but then you tell me he's shot in the ass. So that's Forrest Gump shit.
Yeah, that's the $1 million wound. You know?
Did he get?
But at that time they didn't send them home for that. They didn't do the 2-timers until Vietnam.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
See, I'm learning something here today. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, my dad, he fought in Korea, fought with a Turkish unit.
What?
He was a recalless rifleman, which was a larger form of a bazooka. And he fought with these Turkish guys in his unit who actually hated the Chinese. Turkey hates China. And these guys would capture Chinese soldiers and skin them alive. Yeah.
Oh!
They're fanatics, yeah.
And
my dad was they were in my dad's unit because it was UN. It wasn't the U.S. war against Korea; it was the United Nations. And
right.
Turkey was one of them that joined that war because they hate the Chinese.
Right.
And these guys would capture Chinese soldiers and skin them alive.
Oh. Yeah. And your father would have to watch this.
Yeah. No wonder my dad started drinking.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
What do you say to that?
There's really not much you can say to that. I mean, my dad would tell me these war stories, how he would witness the weapon he was using blowing holes through people and stuff. And
bazooka.
Crazy, yeah, bazooka, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And PTSD, not that it didn't exist, but it just wasn't recognized.
Yeah,
back
no,
then.
it wasn't. If you had PTSD in 1955, you were a softie.
Yeah,
you had no balls, and that's a shame because those guys, Korea's the forgotten war.
Yeah,
and,
true.
We lost 50,000 people. Don't forget about Korea, guys.
Absolutely. And what did your father go on to do after that?
My father went on to come home, married my mom, and got a job with First National Citibank.
Okay.
As a teller, and then he went on to be a vice president.
Oh, very nice.
Retired at the age of 58.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He had like a $80,000 a year pension and another $60,000 a year he was collecting from Social Security.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
the way it should. Well, as a veteran, he deserves that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drank it all away, so it ended poorly.
All right, well, he had fun,
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
had fun. Yeah, he had a good time. We didn't, but he had a good time.
And he was able to afford to drink.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, yeah. You know what he would do? I mean, I don't want to bash my dad because I love my dad. There's a lot of, history there, but he would buy these little bottles of martinis. It had like a plastic shot cup on the cover.
Oh.
They were called martinis, so ones, and he would drink like 12 of them.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and just come home hammered on a daily basis. Yeah, it was
12.
It was entertaining.
I don't think I can handle one.
Oh, forget it.
Forget about it.
Which is why I don't drink alcohol. So I learned the hard way what alcohol.
Watching
does
all
to
that.
me. Oh, hell yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, madness.
Wow. Well, hi everybody.
Yeah. Happy Memorial Day, everybody! Isn't that?
Well, I guess that is why we're mourning them and honoring them because of what they've been through, and even post-war, what they've been through.
These men and women, they paid the ultimate price. I mean, if they were killed in action or what they went through after.
Right.
I mean, even like the Gulf War people. I mean, they're committing suicide like crazy because they just can't deal with what they went through. And when you see a veteran in the store and you know who they are, they're usually wearing hats. Go up to them and thank them because they're the reason why you are here. I do it all the time, and
a lot of them don't like that though, being thanked. Right?
You know who likes it? The Vietnam guys.
Oh yeah,
because they were shitted on when they came home.
Yes.
When you see a Vietnam veteran, everybody just thank them. Say, hey, look, thank you so much for what you tried to do over there. You didn't lose the war; the government did. So that's the way it is.
Well, yeah. Well, and really, really had no business being there in the first place.
Absolutely not. We wouldn't have wanted anyone trying to defeat our revolution. So
Yeah.
I know it's the doctrine, stop the flow of communism and all that nonsense, but come on, stop.
Sometimes I even with going to to the Gulf, and even sometimes I say to myself, you know what? Not to be heartless, but sometimes I find myself saying, you know what? Let them all just blow each other up over there. Why are we getting involved in their fight?
I agree with you. I mean, to me, you have to defend Israel because they're the lone democracy over there. But honestly, if we put any boots on the ground over there, we should, the person making that decision should be taught and feathered. It's just stay away. Like you said, we should just turn it into a big parking lot and just leave it be.
Well, I'm not so much. Well, yeah, I mean Israel, but I'm saying like the Gulf War back in the 90s.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that
like
too.
those guys.
Yeah.
Which you feel I've brought it up here before, and I feel a little weird, silly bringing it up. But if you hear me out, I'm a big music guy.
Yeah.
Now in 1987, Billy Joel went to Russia.
Right.
And and again, if you leave it at that, people are going to laugh. But him going there, and then the documentary they put out after. It was more than just some silly concerts, that was during the height of the Cold War.
Sure.
That marked the beginning of the end of the Cold War.
Yep.
And the documentary, because the wall came down, the wall in Germany came down shortly after that. The Gorbachev ended the Cold War, just 2 or 3 years later.
91 or 90?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
And if he, sorry, I was just reading a text.
Okay.
Sorry, don't mind me. So you watch the documentary because we're talking about Israel and the Gulf War, but when we were younger, we're the same age if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm 57.
Oh, all right, you're 3 years old. I thought you were younger than me actually, because he takes good care of his hair.
Well, I have it to take care of it.
All right, but we're pretty much the same age. So in '87, we were brought up as kids to, fear Russia, to hate them and think that they all wanted to kill us.
Yeah.
And, to the point where we wanted to kill them back. And this documentary, Billy Joel goes over there and he meets the people, and they're all just a bunch of idiots who want to hear music and watch a game and get laid just like the rest of us. And that's what he discovered over there, that these are just people. And same as here, we all most of us just have blind faith in our elected officials, and they tell us to go to war and kill that guy. Unfortunately, that's what we do.
Yep.
And depending on what you're fighting over, depending on who you're going after, it's justified to a certain degree. But
agreed.
but you have people behind all that, again, that just want to make an honest living
right.
and be able to afford their house and feed their kids and have a laugh.
Right.
And I remember that's what I personally, that documentary, that was 1987 that he went there. I was 17. Documentary came out a year or two later. So, I'm in my late teens. That was eye-opening for me. Yeah. Like, these are people these are just normal people over there. And I, so I think the same thing with, the Gulf War, going to Israel, all that. They're just people that want to do their thing.
Yeah, they do. They just want to live their lives. And unfortunately, they got maniacs making decisions that they shouldn't be making.
Right. And unfortunately, a lot of those people are going to...
Yeah.
A lot of the innocent people that are just trying to...
Caught in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a shame. 2 words, great advice, is John Rusiello. John Rusiello, retired detective. John, forgive me, were you a military guy also? I know our buddy Kaplan was. Oh, you know Mike Kaplan. Yeah. He's right. Have you met Mike?
Yeah, I've met Mike.
Yeah. He's Mike co-hosts with me every Wednesday, and I've gotten to know John Rusiello through Mike. I think John is the only friend Mike has because nobody likes Mike. So John and I have become friends, and John and I have become friends to the point where we're basically just cutting Mike out of it. We don't really need him anymore.
Throw him to the side.
Absolutely. We got our use of him.
Yeah, all
right. Speaking of veterans, one thing I was reading this morning, which I didn't know, Robin Williams, when he was doing movies, he always had the production crews hire local veterans to be background actors or things like that on the sets.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
I had
nice.
no idea. I thought that was really cool. All right, so we're going to... We hope all you guys, are taking some time to honor the veterans today. Hit the parades.
Yep.
Hicksville, where I live, they were getting their parade in between the rain. And, take some time to honor them. And hopefully you can still, make use of the day and do the barbecuing and honor the vets. What are you doing today?
Going to the in-laws.
No,
which
very
is
nice.
what we do every Memorial Day, burgers and hot dogs and stuff like that.
Very
and
nice.
Then, I have a Zoom meeting at 6 o'clock for a teleplay that I'm doing in June, that was starting to shoot in June. And then I have a rehearsal for the show that we're opening up on Friday at 7.
Non-stop,
Non-stop, yeah. It's crazy.
And we're gonna get to that right after John's phone call. Are you a military guy or no?
No.
Oh, you're not.
I can tell you. I'll tell you a funny and true story.
Okay.
When you're 18, you guys don't remember that. When you're 18, you had to register for the draft.
Yep.
And they gave you a draft card. They gave you a paper draft card.
Yeah, we still did that, right?
They
I
still
think I
have,
remember.
They still have to do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I was 18. I was fresh out of high school.
Right.
And I went down to Woodhull Street, which was the induction center for the draft in New York. And I walk in and I say, "Hi, I'm 18 years old. Let me see your. There's a military man, and I think he was a sergeant. So let me see your birth certificate." So I show him my birth certificate. He goes, "Stand over there." All right. So I stood over there. It must have been 300 guys.
Yeah.
And they were going one, you. Every other guy, they were going, to stand on the other side of the room. They came to me. They said, "Get out."
They saw that you were immediately. They saw you were gay, and gays weren't allowed in the military at that time.
And let me tell you what my classification is. And I don't think anybody ever heard of this. I have a draft card, which I still have today. It's a 4F, not a 4F. I'm sorry, a 4A classification.
Okay.
4F is, so I thought I was going to get a 4F. He goes, "No, you're getting a 4A." He goes, "In case of a national emergency," he goes, "we're going to call you." So I said to the sergeant, I was a kid, I didn't know. I said, "So you don't want me?" He goes, "No, we don't want you. Get out of here." And that's how I took the police department test.
Luckiest day of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. How did they? But what was the reasoning?
I have, to this day, Tony, I have no idea.
Wow.
I have absolutely no idea. But there was a bunch of us that they picked us out, and they put us, and they said, "No, that's all right. We don't need you." But every other guy, every other boy, and we were all boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Every other boy, they picked, and they said, who went into the Navy, who went into the Army, and I was just very, very lucky.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. Wow.
And when I came out, when all the guys from Vietnam came out, and actually 90% of them joined the police department,
Yeah.
and they got absolutely no respect whatsoever when they came out.
Yep.
There was no parade. Every other war we had parade, even the Gulf War. All right, they had parades. When Vietnam vets came home,
They got
it was
screamed at,
absolutely nothing. They were spit upon almost.
Terrible treatment.
Yeah.
Yes, it really was. But you're right by saying Kaplan was he was in 2 wars.
Yes, he
He
was.
was in the Gulf War. Yeah, and you would never think of it. You would never think of it to look at him. He was quite the soldier.
Yes, he was. In all seriousness, yeah, we'll stop picking on him for once, and yeah, he really was.
No, don't stop picking on him. Just give him what credit's due. Let's pick on him. All right?
Oh well, I'll get him Wednesday because last Wednesday he didn't show up, so this Wednesday he's in trouble.
Like I said last Wednesday, he had a pretty good excuse.
It doesn't matter. I'm picking on him anyway.
Go get him, Tony.
All right, have a nice show. All right, talk to you guys later.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Very nice. John Russillo with his daily checking in.
All
I
right.
didn't have the heart to tell him that it's golf, not golf.
Yeah.
But that's all right. So before I forget, please hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please follow the Facebook page, the Gov's Comedy Club podcast page.
Yeah.
We appreciate you watching. If you are going to comment and you'd like us to see your comment, which I would think that's the point of commenting.
Correct.
Then please do so on the YouTube feed because that is where we are following the comments on the YouTube feed. It does say Good Times, Bad Times. That is not the show that's playing right now. It is the Knock 'em Dead comedy show. We're having technical issues for the past week or so I've been having to stream under some of the other shows here at the station. It's without getting too boring. I have a program that I use to stream the shows. And each show has its own template on the program we use. And for whatever reason, my template's not working. So I've had to use the other shows. But if I use, like today, I'm using Good Times, Bad Times. Now, tomorrow, Good Times, Bad Times probably won't work. So then I have to find a different show. And the Zooming issue, I've been having Zooming issues. I'm having all sorts of issues. And Mike O'Toole, who hosts the Wirt Show here on Govs, he's probably not getting in here for another few weeks so he can fix things up. So hopefully we survive.
Wasn't Good Time, Bad Times a Zeppelin song?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay.
And they used to use that song as their theme song until the copyright issues got us shut down and threatened and whatnot.
Damn copyright issues.
I hate those damn copyright issues.
Sons of bitches.
People want to make money.
Huh.
So so please subscribe to the channels and follow us and share the shows all over your socials. You know what? And I'll quickly, let's see, I'll show this graphic now. If anybody feels like, if just about anybody feels like calling in, there's the number. I'll keep that up for a few minutes. Say hi to Greg.
Yeah, hi.
So we're talking to Greg Halvorsen. As you heard a minute ago before John called, today, I asked him what he's doing today for Memorial Day. He's hanging out with the in-laws, and then he's got a virtual rehearsal, and then did you say another rehearsal after that?
Yeah.
Greg Halvorsen is, if you're on Long Island and you consider yourself a performer or an actor and you don't know who Greg is, well then you're obviously not out there enough.
You're not.
My first question, Greg, because I have a feeling you might know this question, the answer to this question. How many shows, how many productions have you been in?
Theater, I'm going to say it's probably close to 40.
That's it?
Maybe 50.
I mean, that's still quite the number,
Yeah,
but
wow. Yeah,
that's huge.
I can't say no. That's my problem. When someone comes to me and says, Greg, I got the script. I think it's great. You'd be perfect for it. Why don't you read it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to admit I'm not a technical guy. I can edit movies and stuff, but I have problems putting stuff on a calendar. And I usually say yes to a role, then I realize I've got 4 other things going on at the same time. And which is the truth.
I hear you.
Which is what I've gone through in the month of May. It's been one thing after another. I have to say that I don't think I've I might have had 1 or 2 days in May where I've done actually nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been rehearsals. I have a show coming up this Friday at the South Shore Theater Experience in Lindenhurst. It's a world premiere by the brilliant mind of Christopher Hackett called Operation Volkswagen. If you fear clowns, don't come, because clowns are involved. If you want to laugh, come, because it's about the funniest thing I've ever been involved in.
Oh, wow.
We can't.
Chris is he's a very good writer.
Yeah, he really is. He's an unusual guy. I mean, I don't know where he gets when. I used to thought Chris was kind of out there, and I love the guy. Don't take that the wrong way. But when I read this one, I fully believe that he's out there. This is the most bizarre thing you're ever gonna watch, and it's absolutely hysterical. So if you want to laugh, come to the South Shore Theater Experience in Lindenhurst Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week to see Operation Volkswagen. It's a riot, guys. You will not be disappointed. I promise.
Well, we'll be promoting it throughout the show. It's actually on my list of things to ask you. Operation Volkswagen.
Right, yeah.
But how do they get tickets for that?
Eventbrite, is that what that's called?
Yes.
Yeah. Eventbrite. You could just click the Operation Volkswagen link. I think it's $30, $25 or $30.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Look, $25 or $30 for 2.5 hours of quality entertainment. You can't beat it.
Right.
I mean, if you want to go into Manhattan and spend a couple $100, that's up to you. But,
Well, and that's the thing I've talked about a little bit here on the show. There's a lot of talent on Long Island.
Tons of it.
And that's why I like theaters like South Shore Experience, because unfortunately theaters, they have to make the money to survive.
Right.
But if guys like Hackert and John Blenn,
Yeah.
if I wish there was a bigger outlet for these guys,
Agreed.
because they should be getting paid. They should be making a career out of their theater.
Absolutely.
We should be making a career out
Yeah.
of performing in their
Sure.
shows.
Yeah.
I understand, again, the theaters have to make money, but it does make me nuts how it's the same musicals over and over. It's the same Neil Simon plays over and over. And again, I get it, but I do wish there was a bigger outlet for original shows.
Yep.
I wish you didn't have to spend hundreds just getting to the city to see some original shows.
Right.
So, yeah, South Shore Theater Experience. There's a few other theaters out there. Right.
There's plenty of them.
There's another one.
Go local, guys. It's a lot of fun.
And there's, because in between their runs of the usual musicals, they'll usually stick in a Chris Hackert play.
Correct, yeah.
A John Blenn production,
Yep.
or sometimes nowadays even your local libraries have really nice auditoriums.
I just did a show in the Babylon Library 2 weeks ago. I did Act 1 of Neil Simon Plaza Suite.
Great
It was
one.
in the West Babylon Library, and there was 45 people, and it was packed. Mm-hmm. I did it at another library way out in Nassau County. I don't even remember what town it was, and that had like 60 people.
Yep.
So you check your local libraries too. Like Tony said, there's always shows going on in those places, and you know what? You get in there for free. I mean,
Right.
I mean, come on now. I mean, if it's free, it's for me.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
You don't pay anything, and you get a nice little show. So check those libraries out too,
Yeah.
because they're all over the place.
I got to do a stage production. What was the name? It's coming to me. Alan. I got to do a show where I played a part that Alan Arkin did, which to me that was just such a huge compliment to think that I can handle a role that Alan Arkin did.
You can handle it.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
It was called Power Plays. It was called, and that's the thing. Like, where else you could be able to do something like that?
It's true.
And it's such a great experience, and it's so cool to see these unknown shows. A lot of great talent here.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun, and like Tony said, there's only so many times you can see Into the Woods. I mean, come on,
Right.
It's in every theater. Producers, Into the Woods, Oz. Stop already! Come on,
Stop already.
Christ. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that.
No, that you can say
I
here.
can say that here. I
That you can say here.
I got you.
We have a strict rule for our murder mysteries. No GDs, no JCs, and pretty much 98% of the time, no F-bombs.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bosey, by the way, is the biggest offender. He always screws it up. And maybe once in a while, Greg.
Yeah, yeah. I have to admit, I've dropped a few of them. As early as 3 weeks ago, in the middle of a church. And I saw Tony's face because we were face to face with each other. And I said, "Jesus Christ!" And he looked at me, and I shook his hand. And I said, "I'm sorry." Right, and I broke character, and I was because I saw how mad he was. But he was cool with it because I fessed up to it.
It's of course it's
heat of the moment. I couldn't control myself.
And then we just did a show a couple of weeks ago in a home. And we had a new guy do a show. This is only his second show with us, and he threw out. He said "motherfucker" twice.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, in my head, I'm like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
But they were fine with it.
Yeah, they were.
You know,
they were all loaded, so they did.
Yeah, true.
It helped.
And you can get away with an F-bomb.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we're in the perfect place. They drop them all the time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I would say a lot of people will drop an F-bomb before they'll say Jesus Christ or God damn.
Agreed.
So
agreed.
that's why we have that strict rule, because you don't know. You could say fuck, but then you don't know who you're offending.
Correct.
When so
correct.
That, and then I had a guy years ago. I'm not going to say his name, but we do this thing in our shows, if you're not familiar, where it's a murder mystery. The murder happens right in front of everybody. We give out paper and pens. And it has a rundown of who the characters are, maybe 2 sentences of what the show's about. Then on the bottom, you fill out who you think did it and why. We collect these sheets, and we read some of the answers towards the end of the show as we're starting to solve it all. We had one guy, he was reading all the sheets and on the mic, and then he was done. He put it down. Now, we always, we joke around with the audience, and we'll say things like, those are terrible answers,
Yeah.
But this guy put the sheets down. He goes, those answers were all for you guys are a bunch of assholes.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, oh, my goodness. That. Now, like you said, you say Jesus Christ, and you came right up to me, right in the middle of the show, and we're shaking hands.
I was
Totally
so glad.
redeemed himself, and the crowd was laughing. But for a guy to call the audience asshole, I wanted to punch him right there, right in front of
I
everybody.
don't blame you.
Yeah, that
Gotta
was.
respect your audience. They pay to see it.
Exactly.
You gotta respect.
It's one thing to make fun and to joke around.
Yes.
But they know you're just busting balls, and that's
Correct.
what we do. But but calling them assholes is crossing the line.
That's not right.
Vicky's watching. She says, "Happy Monday, Tony and Greg."
Hey, Vicky.
You know Vicky, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Yep. Vicky's good people and one of our biggest fans.
Yeah, she's great.
I don't like saying fans. One of our biggest supporters.
Yes.
There we go.
Agreed.
Fans is short for fanatic, so I don't like that word. All right. So how about this? How many John Blenn shows have you done?
John Blenn shows. Let's see. John Blenn. I think it's 3.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite being the St. Francis show, which John wrote about his experience in the hospital, I think when his mother was in there.
Oh, no kidding. I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it was really good, and it went over really well.
He's a tremendous
great.
writer.
John's a great writer.
Yep.
I remember when we were rehearsing it, and I was in Looney Tunes buying UCDs, and he was in there, and he goes, "Greg," he goes, "how's it going?" I go, "John," I said, this show's terrific. He goes, "Yeah," he goes, "it's one of my favorites, and it's real-life experience." He goes, "Have a lot of fun with it." And it was a great show. John's a terrific writer and a great guy.
And super director as well.
Yep. John's a quality guy.
Yeah. One of my favorite people. Just celebrated his birthday the other day.
Happy birthday, John.
Yep. I unfortunately have only done one production. I would love to do more.
Yeah, he's great. Write some more stuff, John, please.
Yes, please. John is just one of the best. Vicky says, "Thanks for not calling me a fan. Annie Wilkes, I'm not." I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. Yeah.
Vicky, we're not educated men. Who's Annie Wilkes?
Explain that, Vicky, please.
Yeah. Tell us who Annie Wilkes is. So give us some. All right. So tell us some favorite productions you've been a part of for whatever reasons, and then tell us some of your memorable moments on stage, some of your worst moments on stage.
My worst moment on stage was a show that we did at South Shore called String Fever, and it was my first full-length play. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, and it was such a bad show. it was just, I didn't understand a word of it. I'm a simple guy. I didn't know what, physics. It was about this musician, me, who has a nervous breakdown. His girlfriend leaves him, and she meets up with this guy that she's in love with, and she gets all scientific. Yeah, that was the worst. It was not one of my finer moments. Like I said, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
I guess you were on the younger side.
Yeah, this was probably 2005, maybe.
Oh, all right.
Because I got into this late. I didn't get into this until I saw my kids doing it.
Oh, all right. So we'll get to that. I want to.
So
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that was my most hated stage performance. I couldn't stand the show. It was just a bad show. No offense, South Shore Theater, but it just wasn't a good one. The production.
Debbie's calling right now. You're fired.
Yeah, she's calling from South Carolina. Hi, Deb and Ted, by the way. Love you guys.
Yeah.
My
people.
favorite production was Dracula. And that says it all. I mean, there's not many times you can get to play Dracula.
Absolutely.
You get to go into a casket and walk out at the end. So Dracula was great. We did that out at the Vale Levitt in Riverhead.
Oh, okay.
We did that in October of 2019, just before they shut the country down.
Yeah.
Great. Loved it. Absolutely my most favorite production of all time, and it still is to this day.
Wow.
So much fun. My all-time favorite horror character is Dracula, and just to have an opportunity to do that was just a blast.
Yeah, and you're a big horror guy,
yeah,
right?
I love horror. Yeah, I'm a big horror guy. The Universal horror pictures from the 30s and 40s, they're just, to me, that's the pinnacle of horror. Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, those kinds of guys, Invisible Man, The Mummy, all of them. They're just fantastic. And Dracula is numero uno.
So are you a blood and guts guy, or you like that stuff too?
I do like that stuff. Yeah, I like Michael Myers and Jason and Nightmare on Elm Street before they turned him into a comedian.
Right.
Yeah, I like that stuff too. But I like the classic horror. I love black and white, and that's why I made my short film, The Basement, in black and white, just to pay homage to those films.
I watched that one.
Oh,
The
thank
Basement.
you very much.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
it came out really good. As I watch it now, I see things that I would change on it.
We all do, right?
There's some technical things that I should have improved on, but I learned the hard way that when you're dressed in a wolf mask, you shouldn't have a white shirt on covering your neck. You should have a black one because But when you're caught up in making it, you don't realize it, and then you release it and you say, "Oh my God, I'm wearing a white shirt under the mask," and everyone's going to see that it's But everyone knows there are no werewolves, and it was a $39 budget. That's how much the mask cost. That's how much the movie costs.
The way I see it, man, at least you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's better than not doing it.
Yeah, agreed. So Dracula's my favorite moment of all time. It has yet to be topped.
Nice.
We'll see what happens Friday night. This may do it. Who knows? What were the other questions, Tony? I'm sorry.
What did I like? Favorite shows, memorable moments, worst moments. You pretty much answered them.
Yeah, and another memorable moment actually happened in the play I hated the most was my first on stage kiss, and that was with Deb Pleasy.
Oh, nice.
So
I could think of worse people to have a first kiss with.
She took me in the corner and we made out a little bit. It was weird because her son and husband were watching the show, but she's like, don't worry about it. And that was my first and only on-stage kiss.
Well, now that you're working with Bosie, I'm sure there's another one coming.
You gotta love Jeff. Jeff's great. He's hysterical.
Okay. No, I'm kidding. No, Jeff is great. And Jeff, I haven't seen his name. He usually watches. So I haven't seen his name yet. But Jeff, I hope, if you're watching, I hope he performed here the other night.
Oh, good for him.
And I meant to get down here. I just couldn't make it happen. But
I got to go to one of his shows.
You don't get... Talk about a busy guy. I mean, if he's not working somewhere, then he's at one of these clubs or he's at somebody's comedy show. There is nobody in the Long Island comedy scene that's more supportive of the Long Island comedy scene than Jeff Bosie.
Yeah.
Oh, Vicky Sommer, Annie Wilkes, that's Misery.
Oh, okay, right.
If now we know what you mean. We didn't remember her name.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah, Kathy Bates, right.
But yeah, Jeff is super supportive guy of the local scene, but he is such a weird freaking dude.
Yeah, he's out there. There's no doubt about it. In a good way, though.
Jeff is a lot of fun.
Jeff's the best.
And he's great. And, we were talking before on the air about the murder mysteries and how much fun they are.
Yeah.
Jeff definitely gave a little bit of a new, a refreshing breath into us.
Yeah.
To have him come in and, to play play my daughter the way he does. He's
you got to see it, people.
yeah, it's something. It is really something.
It really is something.
All right, yeah. So all right. So tell me about that. So you weren't acting until you saw your daughters doing it?
Correct.
I didn't know that.
What I had done in the early '90s, I took 2 or 3 acting lessons, and I auditioned for some commercials, and I got turned down. You know, your hair doesn't look right, the right type, or looking for Spanish, whatever it may be. And after a while, you get sick and tired of rejection. It's part of the business, but
it is part of the life. Yeah.
When you're 21 years old, no one wants to be rejected. So fast forward to 2004, or might have been Jenna was in a show. My youngest daughter, Sarah, was doing shows, and I saw how much fun they were having, and I said, I got to get back into this. So the first thing I did to get back into it was with South Shore Theater Experience. They were doing their One Act Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And to bring up the name, Chris Hackett, he had a show about a hipster, which happened to be me. I didn't even know what hipster was at that time. Waiting online on Black Friday to get into Wallbounds because they were selling Cheez-Its 2 for the price of 1. Yeah. Yeah, so
that's fantastic.
And that was the start of it. I did that show, and it was funny, and I got a decent reaction to it. And then right afterwards, they offered me the part in that String, the horror show that I did. And then, the roles started coming, and, that kind of thing, and it just built up.
Yeah.
And, then there was Walter's Wish, another Chris Hackett show, which was great, which they're making into a movie.
Oh, nice.
And then it just went on and on and on and on and on. And it's so much fun to do. And then I started branching out to other theaters. I did some shows at Baca. I did the shows in Riverhead, Vale Levitt. I've done Dracula there. I did a couple of stage readings, 2 Christmas ones, It's a Wonderful Life and Scrooge.
Were you George Bailey?
I was, yes.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, not one of my favorite performances. I didn't really care for the way I portrayed George Bailey because, you're fighting against the ghost of Jimmy Stewart, and that's a hard thing to do.
Sure is.
I love the Scrooge. I played the part was written for me as the narrator, and I got to do a British accent and all this stuff.
Oh,
It
nice.
was a lot of fun, and the crowd really enjoyed it. And I'll be doing something in, I think, November or December out in Riverhead. We're doing Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be doing Dan Aykroyd's role in Driving Miss Daisy.
Very nice.
And then after that, I believe we're going to be doing the final adventure of Sherlock Holmes, which we were going to start right after Dracula ended, but COVID shut everything down.
Okay.
So I've had this Sherlock Holmes script for 4.5 years, and I still to this day read it because it's such a good script, so we're going to eventually do that as well.
And now you say, you didn't write it. You
No,
just
yeah,
have the script.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a cool character.
Because it's... and we all talked before we went on live on the air that we would do that for free because we just love
absolutely.
it so much.
Sure.
And it's I am surprised sometimes that our paths didn't cross sooner.
Yeah, me too.
Because we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah, we do. We know all the
very, very similar interests as far as the types of plays and like the roles we do. Because I've done Wonderful Life. I've done Phantom. And talking about roles not being happy with their performance. I played Phantom. I have video of it somewhere. I can't even watch it. What? I had no business playing that role. Lisa was Mary in Wonderful Life.
Cool.
And I would someday. In fact, it just hit me. Now that's how I met Debbie.
Oh, okay.
Because she was in it.
All right,
and
excellent. Was this shown at South Shore?
No, this was before.
Okay.
This is 1990.
Was it the place on 109 that used to?
No. What was it? Arena.
Arena Players.
Yeah. No. This was a traveling group.
Oh, okay.
And it was we did stage almost like radio plays.
Yeah, radio plays.
but live.
That's what they are. Yeah.
But it
Which
was
were fun.
Oh, we had a lot of fun.
They were a lot of fun.
In fact, Mike Kaplan was in it too.
Aha.
And Debbie was great because she. We did a few shows where the guy who was playing George Bailey, he was late. I mean, this is freaking George. This is George Bailey. You can't
do a show without George Bailey.
Right. Now he was the director's son.
Oh boy.
So he was late. So was the director. and I think it was 2 or 3 shows. We were 2 or 3 shows where they were late.
Right.
And Debbie had enough of that.
Oh, I could hear it already.
Oh, now I know you do too. I would love Debbie. Very talented,
absolutely.
great person.
Yeah.
But don't piss her off.
Exactly.
And the fact she was right.
She was right. Yeah.
So it was the 3rd time they were late, and man, did she blast them backstage. And I'll never forget. Like, I love being on the side of somebody who's right, taking a stand. And I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I can just sit back,
watch the slow-moving train wreck.
What she said. That's right. And but she was right, and man, did she?
Yeah.
And they were never late again.
Yeah, no. Hey, look, I've heard Debbie get mad. Debbie lets you know what she's thinking, and I respect that.
Without a doubt, man.
Just look. It's local theater. You're not getting paid, but if you're supposed to show up at 7:00, get there at 7.
That's right.
Just be on time.
That's
Just be
right.
professional. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't just keep the drama at home.
Right.
There's enough of it going on stage. Just keep it at home.
True.
There's no reason for it.
Yeah, the backstage stuff is always interesting.
Yeah, but you're right though. I'm surprised we never ran into each other before.
Yeah, I know.
I saw your ad, and I contacted you, and I'm glad I did because it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun, and
great,
you don't get a much more loyal guy than this, and solid too as far as performance and lines.
A lot of fun.
And I have to say, and I think I've touched upon it with you a little bit, but honestly, you guys know Eric Shevlin. He was a part of this show for a while. He's been off.
Yeah.
It's actually been longer since he's been gone than he was actually here. The first year or 2 he was here. But so he left here, but me and him remained business partners with the Murder Mysteries. And he's the past 6 months, actually it's been over 6 months, almost a year at this point, he's been working on getting out. He's moving, and he's just not doing this anymore. And I was a little worried at first. Like, Eric and I started working together in 2006, and it was like you said, when you did that string show, you weren't happy with your performance, you didn't know what you were doing.
Right.
Same thing when I started doing the Murder Mysteries. Mike Kaplan and I started it together. We didn't know what we were doing, and there were a lot of growing pains. And in 2006, when Eric joined us and a few other people had joined us, we can feel like we actually felt it. We felt the shift. We knew that we learned enough at that point that we could make a difference. We were getting good people. We knew what we were doing. It's been almost 25 years since I started doing my own murder mystery dinner theater shows. Now I could do it with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
But it took a lot. And Eric was there, when it really started to take shape. So with him leaving, I was worried, how do we do this? And plus, he's so good at it.
That's a major talent right there. He's brilliant.
So, but then, I think his last show with us was October. So
it was.
in Plainview.
Was it in Plainview? What was that? Blue Point Brewery. I thought it was.
Oh, you know what? You might be right.
It was Redneck Wedding.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Redneck Wedding. Yeah.
And I really started to worry, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
But it's, again, over 6 months at this point, and life does go on, and I'm not, that's not a shot at Eric at all.
Oh,
just, everybody, there's a lot of great people, so we've been able to carry on well, but you've really, in his absence, because there were so many things he would do in a show to keep it going and to keep an energy going.
Absolutely.
And we have, some people that have taken his place. One guy is new, so he's still learning.
Yeah.
They're just big shoes to fill.
They are. They're huge.
So, as somebody who has been with Eric the last few years, you've really taken up a lot of that slack.
Oh, thank you.
So, no, thank you, pal. It's really been it's been fun to watch. And we were talking about before we went on the air, we have a new guy that's really just kind of breathing a new life into us, and we're getting a really fun energy. We've had some really good shows lately.
Terrific.
And I'm actually kind of upset that we don't have any murder mysteries this summer because
me too.
we were really hitting a nice
stride. We were rolling.
Yeah.
The last couple of shows have been fantastic.
Yeah.
And the crowds were loving it. We were having a great time. Everything was nice and gelling. It was
right.
It was great.
Yeah.
I love them. When we interviewed on the phone, I would do them free.
Yeah.
I do the stuff I do at South Shore Theater Experience. I don't get paid, and it's out of There's not much can compare to being in front of a live audience. You get
Oh,
that
I
energy,
agree,
you
100%.
You feed off of it, and you got to make sure if you ever perform in front of a live audience, regardless if there's 10 people there or 100, you treat those 10 people like there's 100 there, and you give it your 100. You give it 110 because they
Yep.
pay for that.
Yeah.
So and they deserve it.
Years ago, it's got to be like 25 years ago. I was doing a show. I don't even remember what show it was. But anyway, we were doing it at a library. I think it was Amityville Library. 3 people showed up. We did it.
Yeah, no, you got to do it.
We did it.
Yeah, no, they're there to be entertained.
Right.
You know, I mean, and really, who the hell are we to decide, how we should act in front of people that, are paying? You
True.
have a responsibility to take care of the people that are taking care of you. I mean, just do the right thing.
Well said, Greg Halvorsen.
Do the right
well
thing,
said.
damn it.
I've told the story before. I'm going to tell it again. I don't know if I've ever told you the story. When we did It's a Wonderful Life, so Mike Kaplan, I would love to do it again because, we're being honest. You talk about string being not very good. Well, the George Bailey we had, the guy was only, I think, 22 or something. He had no business playing George Bailey. Yeah. And Lisa was, she was like 7 or 8 years older than this guy. Like, they didn't.
Right.
And I remember she actually got into an argument with them once because she was like, please let Tony play George Bailey. But so we're doing the show. And then Mike Kaplan, by the way, I would love to do this again. You as George, get Lisa back as Mary. And Mike Kaplan, I'm telling you, and I don't have video. In fact, Debbie took video. And I've never seen it. I don't know if she still has it. I'd love to get it. I'm telling you, Mike Kaplan's Mr. Potter was better than Barry Moore in that movie. I'm telling you. He knocked it out of the park. He was unbelievable.
It's a huge role.
Oh, yeah. And Mike did it so well. But, there's a scene where Potter wants to hire George Bailey.
Yes, yeah.
And then George says yes. Then he comes back to his senses, and you're a scurvy little spider.
Yep.
And they have that big exchange. So the way it worked in this show, it was mainly like a radio show. We just stand there with the scripts on our hands.
In a book, yeah.
But for dramatic effect, the director told our George Bailey to leave after that scene, like run out of the room, like for dramatic effect. So at every show, he would walk out, and then the next scene, he comes walking back in. So the way this lady ran her show, so if you're up in, so the whole cast would sit against the wall,
right?
And we had to dress in black, all black,
Yep.
and you had to like the directions were you had to just sit there, and you couldn't look down, you couldn't fidget, you just had to look straight out, and just sit until it was until it was your scene, and then you get up, you read your part, and you go back and sit down, and you just you wait. So at this one show, it was 2 sets of seats. You had your side aisles and a middle aisle. Mm-hmm. This guy is yelling, "You're a scurvy little spider," and he turns and he's going to walk down the center aisle and leave the room.
Right.
Why he did that, I have no idea. When there was an exit right at the end of our row of seats, but I guess he wanted to make it more
right.
Let everybody see me. So walk down the middle. What he didn't realize, and he wasn't, his back wasn't to the audience, but I guess his peripheral for the middle aisle wasn't very good, and he's yelling. So he turns to run down the middle aisle, and there's an old lady in a wheelchair. Dude, this was I had never laughed so hard in my life. Here's the wheelchair. This dude, he turns, he smacks right into her, right?
Oh, my goodness.
They go over. And I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. In fact, I'll ask Mike on Wednesday. He'll tell you. They go back. The wheelchair just goes back. Her head comes within maybe two inches from hitting the floor.
Wow.
It doesn't. But now they're just like hanging in suspension. He's on her. He's like this, face to face, and you see both of them are just looking at each other.
Oh my goodness.
And so they're on. So he's, and they're just like suspended, and then somehow the wheelchair just comes back.
Wow.
He ends up back on his feet, and he runs out of the room.
I would have cracked up too.
Well, that's the thing.
That's classic.
Right in front of me, the very first row. So we're supposed to be sitting there like this the whole show.
Yeah.
But right in front of me, Mike Kaplan's wife at the time, she had a 13-year-old son. Mike Kaplan's son was around the same age. So the two of them, like they're hysterical. And I mean, you can verify I'm the worst. Somebody's laughing, I break character probably worse than anybody in our murder mysteries. I can't. With these two 13-year-olds laughing in my face, I am crying.
That's funny.
I am laughing my ass off. And I think we actually had to like pause and wait for a minute because the whole audience was laughing their asses off.
That's a great story.
Oh man, stupid shit like that. I laugh for hours, hours.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
great.
That was the best.
Love it.
Yeah, stupid shit like that on stage. I love that stuff.
That's
great. Although, what I love even more is when something weird on stage happens, but it works. It fits what's going on in the show.
Always helps.
It makes you look like a genius.
Yeah, always helps.
when I did John's Blend show, he has a series of these shows called American Dating Catastrophes.
Yes, yeah.
And that's basically what they are. They're basically just little skits of all these different ways a date can go wrong. And I think he's up to like 19 or something. He's done just a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I think I may have been, I think it was either 16 or 17 that I was in, if I remember right. So then I was fortunate to be in two of the skits in that one particular production. But in one of them, I had this big mullet wig. Like my character was supposed to be like a guy who thought he was a hotshot, but he was really just an idiot. And he has this wig on, and the skit had just started. And again, that's right. And I make a grand entrance. It's a blind date, so the girl's sitting there waiting for me, and I come out. And just the visual, So of course the audience laughs at the wig, and I'm just walking in. And as soon as I sit down, no lines have even been said yet. I sit down, boom, the wig falls off. But the place roars, and I just grab a cook and I put it back on, and we continue.
Yep.
I had, I think, like 3 people afterwards. That was great. How'd you make the wig fall off?
Oh, that's great.
It's just what John wanted.
The magic of theater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so great. I think I told one person that it wasn't planned, but
the dating catastrophes things were fun. I did one of those. It was right before his very good friend passed away from cancer.
Oh yeah.
And it was called Mama's Little Man, and that was another Chris Hackert thing where I was on a blind date with a woman who couldn't find a babysitter, and she brings this baby to dinner with us. And I said, bring him in. I'm very good with these little kids, and it turns out it's a baby, but it's a full-grown human being, but it's a baby. And it was absolutely hysterical. Yeah.
That's great.
Mama's Little Man. Good stuff. And those dating catastrophes are very, very, very funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I loved
really
it.
Are.
I would love to, I'd love to work with John again on anything. I mean, I think I could talk about taking a dump, and John Blend would make it interesting.
He would make it interesting.
He
would. Yeah. John
love
is
that guy.
talented.
All right. So let's go. I want to go back. All right. So this makes a little sense to me now because you're saying you got into acting late because you've kind of been like you've done a lot of different things in your life.
Yeah.
Now, when you first, we've known each other almost 5 years.
5 years, yeah. About 5 years.
What was the first show you did with us? At SUNY Farmingdale?
SUNY Farmingdale, yeah.
Right, towards the end of right. We all had to wear masks, right, for that fucking thing.
It was it was 20.
So it must have been 2020.
2020, yeah. It was in September.
Right, just as things were starting to.
It was starting to open up again.
Right, but we had to wear those damn masks.
Yeah, and I was as nervous as hell.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I really was. Yeah, because you guys were so tight.
Yeah,
and here I am. Linda, you've been doing Linda with so long, and Eric was there, and Liz was playing Lola, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I was terrified because you guys were just so cohesive. And
you were
the new kid on the block, and I'm like, I don't know.
Never would have known it.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, And it went off quite well, actually. I was surprised at how well the college kids reacted to it, to be quite honest with you. So that was the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember. So working together ever since. So of course like anybody, you work together, you spend time together, so eventually you learn a little bit about each other. So I found out early on that you worked for doing some kind of security.
Yeah, I worked for a security company called SL Security Pros in Lindenhurst. Yeah, I'm the inventory director.
Inventory director.
Yes.
That's what, like making sure all the cameras are accounted for.
Yeah, everything, cameras, locks, all that nonsense. Right. Yeah.
And then fine, but then before that. You were a hairdresser.
Yeah, I was floating around at that time. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. Just going from job to job. I was lost.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I've been working at Grumman Aerospace Corporation as a
Okay,
graphic artist.
well, that's where I was going, because then just a few weeks ago, we're doing a show at a church in Plainview, and then sure enough, you look the guy that hired us, and Greg, we're standing, the three of us are standing there talking. You look familiar. You look familiar. Oh, I worked at Grumman. So we go from security to hairdressing, and then all of a sudden, Grumman, and you had a pretty cool job.
Yeah, I've been jumping around like crazy. So I worked at Grumman. I was a graphic art. I worked in the graphic arts area, and I also ran one of the Navy distribution warehouses. And what this was a giant warehouse filled with flight manuals for all the Grumman aircraft, and I was in charge of shipping them out everywhere in the world.
That's important stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never forget. There was one day where I was sitting in the office all by myself because I worked there by myself, and I got a phone call from an admiral on an aircraft carrier, and I pick up the phone and I say, "Publications, this is Greg speaking." He goes, "Where the fuck are my E2C flight manuals?" I said, "Who is this?" He goes, "This is Admiral so-and-so. I'm on the John F. Kennedy in the Persian Gulf, and I got no fucking E2C flight manuals. Where are they?"
Holy shit.
He goes, "I'm going to come to Bethpage when we dock, and I'm going to take those fucking flight manuals right out of your warehouse." 6 weeks later, this guy shows up at the warehouse, takes the flight manuals, and he comes over to me, and he shakes my hand, he goes, "You handled that phone call like a pro. Thank you." I was terrified when this guy walked through the door.
Yeah.
He was like 6'3" in his uniform.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know who he was when he walked in?
I was like, "Oh my God, who is this guy?"
Yeah.
And he's
Why
like,
is he
"I'm the
walking
guy that
towards
spoke
me?"
to you on the phone about those E2C flight manuals." He goes, "I want 20 flight manuals right now." So I went and got him 20 flight manuals. He shook my hand. He goes, "You handled that well."
Holy
terrified.
shit.
Yeah. So after Grumman laid me off like for the 6th time in like 4 years, because every time there was a defense cut, see you later.
Yep.
You know, they would keep the long-term guys, and the short-term guys would go. I went into retail. I was doing Rickles and Home Depot. And
retail sucks.
I did retail for 30 years.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh.
So I went to cosmetology school because I just didn't know what to do. You know, I don't know how old. I just was lost. So I went to cosmetology school. Graduated from cosmetology school, and I got a job in a hair salon in Northport. I was a hair washer.
Oh, okay.
Boy, did I make a lot of money doing that.
I was about to ask that. I think, there was a lot of money in that.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's nothing. The women loved having a guy wash their hair.
Really?
You could get, you got stronger hands. No offense, ladies, but we do have stronger hands. You can really get in there and give them a nice head scrub. And there's, head scrubs,
Did you say to them, "Hey, I'd like a head scrub"?
Yeah. Well, after a while, I built up this clientele of ladies that wanted me to wash their hair. And they would wait for me to be available to wash their hair. I get $5 tips, $10 tips.
Holy shit.
Ladies offering me their daughters, all sorts of strange things going on.
Come on.
I swear to God,
Offering you their daughters.
Yes. But I was and I was seeing the woman that would eventually be my wife. We met in haircutting school, my wife.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And I like that.
She's great, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Very nice woman.
Yeah. Angela's good. Like, hi, Angela. I hope you watch it. She probably isn't, but
and Elisa too.
I'm sick of this. You guys going all over the place. We have.
Lisa says to me last night. She goes, "So what time are you getting up in the morning?" I said 7. She says, "Why are you gonna get up so early?" I said, "I'm doing the show tomorrow." She goes, "The show's not till 12:30." I said, "The show ends at 12:30. I get there like 9 or 10 for an 11 o'clock show."
Yeah.
That's.
So the haircutting thing disappeared because I developed chemical allergies, and my skin was basically rotting off my hands. I was covered in rashes and stuff. It was terrible. And in the age of AIDS, nobody wants someone working on them with open sores on their hands.
Of course,
draining out clear pus. It was disgusting.
Oh.
So I went from there to Home Depot.
Okay.
And I worked at Home Depot for 14 years doing inventory management.
Oh, wow.
They eliminated that job, and then I went from Home Depot to Bed Bath & Beyond, and then to Harbor Freight Tools, and then I did overnights with Big Lots.
Oh.
Fucking horror show. Just
overnights.
Awful. Oh, just awful. I did that for 3 years, I think it was, and it was the worst 3 years. There's a dark portion where you don't remember anything. You get home at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you sleep all day, and you wake up and you go to work. You don't see daylight.
Yeah,
massively horrible. And then I went from there. I got a job and I started desire to get out of retail completely because working with the public is horrible.
It sure is.
Because they're just They're unbearable. And I started getting jobs in warehouses. So I worked at this place in Hoppa called Positive Promotions, which is another horror show, but on a different level. I did 3 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning.
No way.
Yeah, in busy time, it was 3 in the afternoon to 3 in the morning.
Ugh.
I was losing it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this job popped up on Indeed one day. I was at home getting ready to go to work. I was making my lunch, and I see this job. Lindenhurst Company needs inventory manager to run their 6,000 square foot warehouse. Immediate hire. I'm calling him. So I call him up, and I go, his name is Joe. And I said, Joe, I'm calling about the job. He goes, send me a resume. Fired it right over, and he calls me back in like 5 minutes. He goes, when can you get here?
No kidding.
I said, well, I got to go to work in a little while. I won't be dressed. He goes, I don't care what you wear, and get here.
Wow.
Go in. He takes me upstairs, shows me this office. We talk money. He goes, you start in 2 weeks.
Nice.
And that's now been 6 years, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30. Off weekends, off all the major holidays.
Very nice.
Like Memorial Day. We all should be off.
That's right.
Yeah. And in the meantime, what's great about this place is I leave at 5:30. If I got to be at the theater by 6, I could walk to the theater. It's right there. You know, not that I would, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's not too far from home either.
No, it's not 6 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 6 minutes. That's folks, if you could get a job close to home, get a job close to home. Nothing worse than commuting. There was one thing where I worked for Aaron's. You know, they rent all the furniture and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jamaica warehouse.
Oh
my God.
No way.
11 in the morning to 9 at night. There was a night there where a disgruntled former employee came to this warehouse while I was there, shot up all the trucks with shotgun.
While you were there?
Yeah.
But he just shot the trucks.
Shot the trucks. Shot all the windshields out with a shotgun. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then they, because what they do with the furniture is when the people don't want to rent it anymore, they take it back.
Right.
They brought in these mattresses, used mattresses, in this warehouse, covered in bed bugs.
Oh.
The most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Yeah, horrible. Yeah, so my advice to everyone that's watching: stay away from retail.
It is. It's a nightmare.
It's a
man.
nightmare. Yeah.
It's
so
a
I've
nightmare.
been all over.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thankfully, I've had this outlet of performing that.
It does. It keeps you sane, right?
It keeps you sane.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with sitting still, so I need to be moving around. I can't just sit and do nothing. I have to be busy because my mind just keeps going.
Yep. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Retail is.
Yeah. No. I dare anyone out listening to this show to work retail for 30 days. You won't make it.
And then you talk about the commute. Like and I'm not knocking anybody that makes those crazy commutes. But,
No, not at all.
But
Not at all.
but I know I can't do it.
No, I can't.
You have to leave if you're working in the city.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 12-hour day.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour day.
But to leave, come home, and there's a lot you miss.
Hats off to the people that take trains every day into Manhattan. I don't know how you guys do it. I really don't.
Train or driving, because then you're sitting in a parking lot. How do you even make it in 2 hours into the city is beyond me, because it just looks like you're sitting in the same spot for a long time.
One idiot pulled alongside of on the LIE, just destroys everyone's day.
Right.
Guy on his cell phone with his flashers on, everyone slows down. Oh, what happened? Fucking drive your car and get to work, you idiots. Christ's sake. I'm getting triggered now.
I see that. I didn't mean to. Well, now I'll really trigger you. I'm really going to trigger you now.
Okay.
How about those Mets?
Oh. Funny that you say that, because I put them on the other day they were playing the Giants.
Right, yeah.
And I put them on. It was like the 5th inning. They were losing 2-1. And I could not make it through the inning. They're so boring. Mm-hmm. They're horrible. I mean, it is not even June 1st and the goddamn baseball season is over, and the Yankees are 42 games over 500. I can't stand the fucking Yankees, and the Rangers are in the playoffs too. That's another thing that drives me. I hate the fucking Rangers. Oh, the Rangers, we're going to win it all. You haven't won a cup in 30 years, you bunch of assholes.
Yeah, but when was the last time the Islanders won?
Yeah, but they won 4 in a row.
True.
They were a dynasty, and they went to 5.
Yes.
I don't need to see a Stanley Cup again. Just keep me entertained. Fucking Ranger fans, you guys, you're getting me really heated.
I see that.
Your team spends $100 billion on players, and you've got one Stanley Cup in 30 years. Suck on it. Yeah, dude, man. Sports. I'm starting to lose interest in sports a great deal because I can't stand the athletes. I listen to Boomer and Gio in the morning, and Boomer always talks about the NFL. And he says that the only thing that can destroy the NFL is its players. They're doing a damn good job.
They're working on it.
They're working on it.
Yep.
The athletes of today, you're an athlete, okay? Don't tell us how to live our lives. We don't tell you how to live your lives. Don't tell us how to live our lives, please.
Right.
You're making $100 million a year. Don't cry poverty to me. You have 9 kids from 17 different women. I mean, stop already. Go out and buy a freaking condom. You're making $100 million. Jesus Christ.
It really is crazy when you read
it is. It's nuts.
how much they're even paying the mothers of all those children.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill, Miami Dolphins wide
Yep.
receiver.
Yeah.
He's 32 years old. He has 10 kids from 10 different women.
10 different women?
10 different women, and he's married and he's having another one.
Oh, my
I mean,
goodness.
come on, dude.
I don't care how rich you are. I can't handle 2 kids.
Look, I love my girls, Sarah and Jenna High. I couldn't deal with a third. There's no way.
No.
I didn't want to have any. Okay. We had Sarah. She was like the perfect little angel. And then my wife wanted to have a second one. And I was like, this first one was so good. The second one is going to be a terrible baby. And I was right. Jenna was just like, oh my God, it was up all night. And but the 2 of them are such great kids now, and I have my wife to thank for that because I was very, very little involved in it. Because I was working here and there, and overnight stuff. When you work overnights, you see your kids leave for school, and then you don't see them again until they're,
Right.
It was rough.
But I think there's definitely a positive to that because it from the outside, it looks like you got the 4 of you have a good a good bond. You guys look like you're a tight, close family.
It's a nice
so maybe because your time was so limited with them growing up, you made the best of it when you did see them, and it looks like it's paid off.
Yeah, they're good eggs. They really are. That's good people right there.
John Rusiello, this guy is great. Great in capital letters. My type of guy.
Oh,
nice.
Thank you. That's very nice to hear.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah, and
you are too, John.
Yeah, John's a good boy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's So I never understood. I mean, I understand why they do it, but if I had to make that commute every day, I would go completely nuts.
No way.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
No way.
Driving here today was difficult because they closed off Hempstead Turnpike. Like, what are you doing closing off Hempstead Turnpike?
What, here in Levittown?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually have their parade on Hempstead Turnpike, which is nuts.
I know it's, you're honoring stuff, but, it's not like you're closing. Hempstead, that's a big road.
Right.
Close off a side street.
Right. There's a couple other
you can't get
main
through.
roads in Levittown you can close. Yeah, I
Crazy.
agree. Oh, so talking about the Mets, what kills me with today's athletes, I can't stand, and I'll explain what it means in a second for those of you who don't know. I hate how they celebrate walk-offs.
Oh, a walk-off single.
Right.
Give me a break. A walk-off walk. Stop.
So a walk-off in the game of baseball is the team that has last licks, okay? And they're either the game is tied or they're losing, and they come back to win it, okay? And now the game's over because they have the last licks. So the game is over and they won. You would think that they just won the World Series, the way these guys...
Throwing water on them.
Right, ripping off their shirts.
Stop already.
So the Mets lost... The Mets are not having a good year, as expected.
As expected, yeah.
But they lost... I think it was, 6 or 7 in a row.
Yeah.
Finally won a game yesterday on a walk-off. And they're celebrating. Like I'm sorry, but I want to grab them and say, look, congratulations on your win.
Nice job.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
But...
You did what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Plus, and what are you celebrating? You still lost the last 7.
And you're 7 games out of first place.
Right.
The Phillies have a 700 winning percentage, and the Florida Marlins are creeping up on you. You're going to be in last place by June 15th.
Absolutely
Stop.
Right. So
Break
you
it
have nothing
down.
to celebrate.
Trade everybody. I'm serious. Bring them all. Bring all the young kids up. Trade them all. Let Alonso go. Let them all go.
Really? Alonso too, huh?
Let him go.
I would keep Alvarez, the catcher.
The catcher,
I'll keep him.
You know what, Pete? I love you to death. You're 29. You're going nowhere with this team. Do yourself a favor and get out.
And I think it's time that they admit that getting Lindor has not worked.
Disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster.
I mean, other players have been worse off, but...
He's batting .210. I mean,
right.
Come on.
He's making errors like crazy now.
Yeah, but, Tony, baseball is changed because now it's all this statomatic crap, and no one cares about batting average. Or a pitcher's not supposed to have a good ERA. What?
Right.
Wins don't matter. Hello, you don't win, you don't make it to the World Series.
Right.
Well,
the way I don't like the way they condition these guys and baby them and babysit them and I would love to be a major league pitcher.
Yeah.
5 innings once a week.
Exactly.
What are you talking?
Yeah.
So that's like an hour a week.
Right.
I mean, there's workouts and there's regiments, and it's not easy, but still, to make millions.
Yeah.
For really an hour a week, it's insane.
These guys have pitch limits of 80 pitches. Tom Seaver's pitch limit was 150.
Right. Complete games.
Throwing 99 miles an hour when no one else was doing it, except for him and Nolan Ryan and Bob Gibson. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I went, it's got to be mid to late 90s. I went to a charity softball game. I think it was Huntington Fire Department against the 69 Mets.
Wow.
And Seaver was there.
Wow.
He was pitching. Yeah, that's a big regret, by the way. After they played a game, after the game, for $25, you can go up to bat and get 3 pitches against Seaver. I didn't do it. I think my brother did it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't do it. Big regret.
Yeah.
But they were in between innings, and I don't know why, but Bud Harrelson was standing. They had a backstop, like a high school,
right.
field. He's standing on the inside of the backstop, talking to somebody that was on the other side. Jerry Grody's catching. It was anybody you can name from 69 Mets. They were there.
Still alive.
Yeah, back then they were still alive.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so Seaver's taking some warm ups, and we're all watching this. He signals for Grody to move, so Grody gets out of the way, and this was a softball game, but Harrelson's at the backstop. Seaver overhand, boom, and you hear
whistling. Yeah.
Nails him right in the back of the head.
Oh Christ!
Harrelson turns around and he looks at Seaver like Seaver goes, "You're in the backstop. Get out of there."
Wow.
I don't know if maybe they didn't like each other or what, but I just remember hearing.
Could you imagine him in his prime on the mound doing that?
This was in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, in '69, throwing laser beams at people's heads, and the batters would be like, "Okay."
Right.
They didn't charge the mound back then.
And if they did charge them out, they didn't get thrown out either.
Exactly.
They're allowed to stay in the game after that. That always got me too. All right. So I didn't mean to get you all riled up.
That's okay.
We have about 10 minutes left.
That's fine.
I'm gonna make you all happy now.
Cool.
Maybe a little too happy. I might have to back away.
Oh boy.
How many Kiss shows have you been to?
139.
139 Kiss shows.
Yes. And every one of them was great.
Every single one of them? Really?
Every single one. I cannot say that Kiss is one of the few things that has really never disappointed me.
Really?
They have, as Gene Simmons says, bang for the buck. If I want to pay $150 to have fun to see Kiss, I'm going to do it. I have to say, out of all the shows I've seen, I was probably disappointed the most by the last show at Madison Square Garden.
Why?
They didn't do anything really special.
Oh.
They played the show, and they played a really tight show, but no tribute video. I didn't want to see ex-members out there because there's just so much nonsense going on with these ex-band members. But it was just disappointing that it was just play the concert, show the new avatars, and then leave. Mm-hmm. That's probably one of the fewest. That's probably the most disappointed I've been at a Kiss show, even though the show was great.
Right.
I saw the show 2 days before that in Baltimore,
which
remember. Was probably the best Kiss show I've ever seen.
Wow.
My brother and I drove down there, and we did the pre-show acoustic set. Walked in there, and the first thing you see is gigantic stage, and you become 10 years old again because
right.
Oh, I always wanted to see a Kiss stage up close, and here it is. This thing is gigantic, and they come out, no makeup, and they're doing acoustic songs that they never play.
Oh, yeah?
Just tremendous. What a great day. Yeah, that was...
Wow.
Yeah, Kiss is like, forget it. It was just December, and it's now only May. I'm waiting for the next thing, guys, so get going.
So The Avatars I guess that's the next
it's
thing.
not till they're not coming out with us till 2027 because they're working with the people that did the ABBA ones.
Right.
They sold all their rights to them.
Right.
So that you wouldn't see those until 2027. Hopefully Gene and Paul are still alive at that point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
How did that all happen for you? What got you into Kiss?
My friend Steven Iannone, who I grew up with, lived 3 houses down, got Kiss Alive for Christmas.
Okay.
And he goes, guys, you got to come over. I got this album. You got to see this band. So my brother and I go over, and he shows it. And I'm like, holy shit, look at these guys. That's insane. And he plays Deuce on stereo.
What a great song.
Bombs going off, Gene. You know,
right.
It was love at first sight.
Wow.
And lots of money spent and loved every minute of it.
The, what's his name? Lenny Kravitz does a great version of Deuce.
Yeah, on the
tribute
Kiss
album.
My Ass, tribute album, yeah. Garth Brooks does a good Hard Luck Woman on that too as well.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I hate Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his either, but he does a really nice job. People, goof on Kiss, a bunch of clowns or whatever. Hey, look, 50 years in that business, not many do it.
Right.
At least give them the credit for that. You don't have to like what they do.
And smart businessmen.
It's very smart.
The money
Gene
those
and
guys
Paul,
have
they
made.
know. Look, they knew what to do when the 2 other clowns in the band were not pulling their weight. Right. You're fired. See you later. Go get stoned. We're going to live our lives.
Right.
And I don't know how they lasted as long as they did with Peter and Ace in the band. I just don't know how they did it.
Those guys were, especially Ace, what a mess, man.
A mess. I met Ace at the Apollo Theater in 1992 shooting a video for his album that was coming out called Trouble Walking. And he did a remake of Do Ya.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he shot it at the Apollo Theater, so...
and he was still a mess at that time, wasn't he?
He was asking people for Valium, Yeah, he was a mess. So we managed to get backstage.
Right.
And here I am, I'm 22, meeting Ace Frehley.
Sure.
My idol in my younger days. Ace was the man, We go backstage and meet John Regan, his bass player, who unfortunately has since passed. Richie Scarlett, the Emperor of Rock and Roll, who was a real asshole. I don't remember who was drumming. It might have been Jamie Aldaker who was drumming. And then
Jamie Aldaker
drummed with Ace.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then
he's dead, too.
Yeah, he's dead, too. And then you see Ace sitting in the corner like this in a chair. Completely comatose. So I got this airbrushed Ace Frehley T-shirt on. And he looks at it, and he looks, you want an autograph? I'm like, what? You want me to sign that? And he takes out his hand is like this, and he grabs a blue Sharpie, and he scribbles on it. Fucking loaded out of his mind. You can't run a business with a guy like that. You can't do it.
And then you try to tell people, that's Ace.
Sure it is. Yeah. No, it was at the Apollo Theater. Oh, Ace Frehley would never be at the Apollo Theater. Yeah. That was my one time that I met Ace. He was just completely obliterated. He was gone.
Well, isn't that why in that movie they made, isn't that why he just made noises because he was too high to study lines or something?
Because he's a fan of him. Because that's all he did all day was sit there and go, ack! Ack! And laugh. That laugh that he had. He had 13 lines in the movie, 12 of them were ack! Just when I remember watching that on NBC, and it was so cool. I thought this was like the greatest film ever made.
Right, yeah.
And then 8 years later, when you see it on a videotape, you're like, what the fuck did I just look at? But a lot of people, there are people today that still want that released on a Blu-ray.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the completists and stuff.
Gene and Paul were like, absolutely not. That's never going to happen.
Well, that's how I feel about Tommy. I'm a huge Who guy. I love Tommy. Same thing with me. First time I saw that album and then listened to it.
Wow.
What is this?
Yeah.
Blew me away.
Yeah.
And then the movie, you look at the cast. First of all, the whole band is in it. Eric Clapton is in it. Tina Turner. Jack Nicholson.
Right.
Anne Margaret.
Yeah.
Oliver Reed. So great musicians and great actors. You're thinking, oh, this is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Horrible.
It was like a bad dream. Like, what in the world am I watching here?
Yeah.
Oh, it's nuts. Yeah. So Ace, that's the only one you've ever met?
I met them all except for Peter.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Gene and Paul are great.
Really?
Eric Carr in his day, rest in peace, Eric.
Yeah. Oh, so you met him too?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We met them at Z100. They were promoting the Hot in the Shade album. This is back in 1989, and we drove over to Secaucus, and we met them at Z100, and they pulled up in limos. About 500 or 600 people there, and they just were mobbed, and they signed everything. They were great.
Wow. Oh, that's good to know.
I was standing in this crowd, and they were leaving the radio station, and I was pressed against a wall.
Yeah.
And Gene was standing in front of me to his back to me. Again, Gene's a big dude.
Yeah.
And this girl reaches from behind me and pulls Gene's hair. And he turns around and he looks at me. He goes, "Did you pull my fucking hair?" I said, "No." I was terrified.
Yeah.
I go, "This girl did it. That's behind me. Don't pull my fucking hair, man." I was terrified. Yeah. So it was my goal in that night to go to Gene and tell him that I didn't do it.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
So he's in his limo. His window is open, and I get to his window, and he looks at me. I said, "Gene, I just want to let you know I didn't pull your hair. I would never do that to you." He goes, he goes, "That's okay." And then he signed my jacket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They were all great guys.
I love hearing about people like that that are cool to
the... Bruce Kulick is great. All of them.
He's
Eric
a great
Singer's
guitar
great.
player.
Bruce is a great guitar player.
Yeah.
Peter is the only one that I've never met.
Okay.
And that's fine by me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Peter's an asshole.
Peter's even now?
Yeah, he's an asshole.
That's funny.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe I'll try to get him on here.
Yeah.
Imagine.
His wife won't let him.
Really?
Yeah, Gigi. Yeah.
Ever tell you there's a comedian here, his name is Richie Byrne. Ever tell you his Gene story? No?
Was he on a couple of months ago promoting a book? Who was promoting a rock book on the show?
Oh, that was it's a David Lee Roth book.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he was telling a story about Gene. Was it the same thing, or
no? It's a different guy. So I don't honestly remember his story unless I told the story there that day. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was so Richie's a comedian. He was playing. I think it was Caroline's in the City, and they were told just before the show started, "Hey, listen, Gene Simmons is in the audience. Do not go up to him. Do not refer to him on stage. Just don't do anything." And they okay. Richie Byrne, he does his set. After he's done, he's walking through the place, and he happens to pass. Like Gene's right there, right next to him. But he didn't even look at him. Nothing. But Gene stopped him and said, "Hey man, I really enjoyed your set." Oh, and they shook hands.
Yeah.
"Thank you, Mr. Simmons. I really appreciate that very much. Thank you." And Richie goes to walk away, but he goes back because he doesn't know to this day. He doesn't know if it was Shannon Tweed or another lady.
Okay.
Whoever it was, he comes back, goes...
Probably another lady.
That's my guess, although you have Shannon Tweed. Why you go with another girl is beyond me. In her day...
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Still looks decent for her age, but I'm not a fan of surgery. So.
No, me neither.
Yeah. So, but he goes back, and he goes up to the girl and says, "Look, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. I should have
acknowledged. Yeah.
Acknowledge you." And she turns to him. She goes, "Oh, thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say." He goes, "Yeah, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It was, I'm Richie. I'm so-and-so." All of a sudden, he says, "You hear Gene? Okay, that's enough." Because if you've ever seen Gene Simmons in an interview, he carries himself.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
like he's almost like a
probably
politician.
had dark sunglasses on too.
Oh yeah, he didn't say, but it's so classic Gene Simmons. Yeah. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, that's
he did
exactly how he sounds.
Yeah, and Richie was like, "Okay," and he bolted.
See you later.
He totally bolted.
Gene could be very intimidating in person. He really is. He's a good guy.
I think that's such a great story, man.
Okay, that's enough. I can hear it in my head.
I love that stuff. What other bands do you enjoy?
The Doors. Doors. Love the Doors.
Oh, nice.
A lot of 80s metal. Poison, Rat. I love all the hair bands.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I've just recently, over the last couple of years, gotten into Pearl Jam.
Oh,
Stone Temple Pilots. Alice in Chains. The Jar of Flies CD is so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm a rock guy. Boston. All those classic rock bands.
Yeah, I hear you.
Fleetwood Mac.
Nice.
Stevie. First time I ever seen Stevie Nicks on the back of the Rumors cover, I was like, "Holy shit! Look at that."
That was like, like I didn't know people can be that beautiful.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, that dress she was wearing, I could still.
Oh yeah.
Still see it today.
My brother, I think it might have been this past week when he was in. I was making fun of him about it. He worked for Korg for a time. Korg is a keyboard company. Yeah. And Fleetwood Mac was playing the Beats. This was 2003 or 4. So being that he worked for Korg, he got backstage passes.
Nice.
But he didn't really look at them. There was a meet and greet before the show.
Oh, wow.
But we missed it because he didn't really look at the tickets. We didn't know.
Right, yeah.
So we missed it, which really pissed me off.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, to be able to meet the band.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm actually a big Fleetwood Mac guy. I'm a big Lindsey Buckingham fan. So I'd love to have met him, but but what did happen? So we missed the meet and greet, but there was still time before the show. So we go backstage anyway. I go backstage. I happen to have a black shirt similar to that, but had a Mets emblem right here. I walk backstage.
Did they throw you out?
No, the very first person I see back there. I swear to you, this is true. I walk back. The very first person I see, he's just getting in line to get food. Gary Carter.
Oh wow, the kid.
And this was a month after this was the same summer he got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Sad he's gone.
Oh, yeah. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a bunch of times.
Great guy.
Such a nice man. Yeah. But he sees the Mets thing, so he's like, hey! Just like that.
Nice.
I'm like, what the? I get online behind him for food. We sat together and ate.
Oh, that's cool.
It was the craziest.
Yeah, kid.
And then my seats were better than his at the concert, which I couldn't believe. But,
nice.
I've met him a few times.
Yeah.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, Carter was really good guy.
Very missed.
Yeah.
That's special about him that SNY did.
Great.
I cry every time I watch it, man.
Yeah,
it gets me.
That was the quintessential Met right there.
Yep, without a doubt.
The missing piece.
Yep. Oh, yeah. What a great year 86 was. For, to be a teenager.
I had it pretty good. The Islanders won the Stanley Cup all 4 years in high school, then the Mets won 2 years later. So
right. Yeah, that's a good run.
That's a good run.
Did you hit any of the parades?
No, I didn't go to any of them.
Oh, really?
No.
I hit, I think 2 of them, I think. Yeah. Oh, so much fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So much fun. Andrew Fremder, my favorite music to listen to is Alice in Chains, Screaming from My Basement. Fremder, I appreciate you not commenting throughout the whole show. That's our first Fremder comment of the day, just as we're, it's time to leave.
Oh.
All right, so again, Operation Volkswagen.
Correct.
That's this weekend?
This weekend. South Shore Theater Experience. I'm also working. Do you mind if I plug?
Of course. No, that's why we're here.
I'm working on a short film series that I have written. I shot episode 1. It's called The Night. It's about a female vampire making her way through the 21st century, searching for her human guide, which happens to be me. Haha. I wrote it and directed. I act in it.
Nice.
It stars Valerie Stazone, who is pretty much my creative partner. We write together. We act together. She's an upcoming talent, so keep an eye out for her. She'll be doing some shows in New York City in June. Also, it stars David Schrader, Martin Gronek, my best friend from kindergarten, Thomas Ambrosio, and Laura Rosenfeld. That's The Night. It's in post-production right now. Episode 1. There's 5 short episodes, and I'm going to get that out as soon as I can. And also, one more thing, I got to put my glasses on because I can't read. Well, I can read, but I just can't see. The Silk Road. It's a televised play that we're currently rehearsing.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a televised play.
It's on my list. See, look,
yeah,
The Night and the Silk Road. I was going to ask about them.
Televised play. It's written by George Sadati. It's about 5 detectives in New York City tracking the drug trade coming out of Afghanistan. It stars James Rapper, Valerie Stazone again, Kenny Kopelwitz, Sophia Varadakis, and myself. We're going to start filming that in Northport in June. So that's the Silk Road. It'll be showing on Altice Cable sometime in October, and I believe it's Channel 20.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that's happening as we speak.
All right. Well, give me a second. All right, let me just. My wife is calling. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm still in the air. Everything good?
Yeah. Yes. Just are you coming home as soon as it's done?
Yeah, I'll be. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see you when you get home.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Everything's good. See, like I said, she doesn't know I'm on. All right. So you got. Can we go a few minutes longer?
Oh, yeah, sure. I got all the time you need.
Cool. All right. Because I had... There's 2 things I want to do.
Sure.
Speaking of upcoming projects, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Because, like I said, Greg and I, we work on the Murder Mysteries together. He's, one of our regulars, our main players at Knock 'em Dead Comedy. But...
Uh-oh.
He does other Murder Mysteries shows.
Yes, I do.
And you have one coming up.
Yes, June 15th at the South Shore Theater Experience.
Now, is this one of Debbie's originals?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I was going to put you on the spot and ask you what they're about, like what goes on. Because they are. I've done Debbie's Murder Mysteries. They're very similar.
Yeah,
kind of.
This is a show called Frostbite, and it's set in 1942 at a radio station in New York City.
Okay.
Called WFAM.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
I see what they did there.
Yeah. They switched a letter, and they are. This radio station's ratings are at the bottom of the barrel, so they developed this show called the Jake Fist Theater. Jake Fist, and it's a murder mystery. It's a murder program. It's a spoken radio show about a serial killer haunting New York, and this detective who I play. Trevor, his name is Trevor Hayes. He's a real asshole, and every time they do a show, an actual murder takes place that's based on the show. So someone that's involved with this show is the murderer or assisting the murderer, and it's up to the audience to figure out who the murderer is.
Right.
We did it in April at the American Legion Hall of West Babylon, and it just went over like gangbusters.
Nice.
And Missy's in it in this one. Myself, Laura Rosenfeld, Lou Descalzo, who's a really terrific actor, and Laura Rosenfeld ran out the cast. And
Laura Rosenfeld, that name. Actually, all those names ring a bell, but I wonder if I know them. But
you may have seen them in some things. But
and
yeah,
Missy is
Missy's great. Yeah,
I
love
Missy.
Hey, Missy. Yeah, she's great. I've done a lot of work with Missy.
Yeah,
so,
I've seen that.
Missy's terrific.
She's one of the nicest people ever.
And she's in Volkswagen too. She plays
Oh,
a
yeah?
girl from Arkansas. It's hysterical. You got to hear her.
I feel bad for Missy. Like she never. I don't know. She just never seemed to really feel comfortable working with us. She never really seemed to find her place with us. I tried. I really wanted to.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah,
She's great.
Woman.
Beautiful too.
Yeah, she is.
All right, now that's the other thing I wanted to do. And I do this with all my guests. I look at our mutual friends and I name a few. You don't have to say anything, or you can say anything you want about them.
Okay, fire away.
All right. So we just did Missy.
Yep.
Nicole LaMonaco.
Nicole LaMonaco.
I saw pictures. It looked like you guys were in a blend play.
Yeah, we were. That was a dating catastrophe.
Yeah. Okay.
Very funny, easy to work with, and she has a great smile.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Roberto Ragone.
Roberto, yeah. Roberto and I were supposed to do a Friday the 13th fan-made film together, and he unfortunately had to back out at the last moment. So I haven't personally met Roberto, but we correspond a lot. Very nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Very nice guy.
I did. Was it last summer? Yeah, I think it was last summer. I know these people in the city. They do Seinfeld, like fan made Friday the 13th, fan made Seinfeld episodes.
Yep.
And but they're not like redoing. They're basically just continuing Seinfeld, so it's current situations. And Roberto was Kramer.
Oh wow, that's I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice guy.
Very nice guy. John Dorsick.
John Dorsick. Really good writer. Met him once or twice in person. Very nice. Another nice guy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, here's a hottie for you. Oh, I got a couple of hotties.
Okay.
Katie Schrader.
Oh, love Katie.
Yeah.
Katie's terrific. One of the nicest individuals you will ever meet.
Yep.
Wonderful actress. I did a show with her at South Shore where she played a blind woman, and you could swear that she was really blind.
Oh, yeah?
Fantastic actress. She's involved with Nihilift, New York Long Island Film Festival.
Yep.
Just a wonderful person. Great children. Her former husband Dave works with me in the films as well. So,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Katie's great. I love her to death.
Another hottie, one of my favorites, Lilo Pearlman.
Oh, Lilo, yeah, she's great. Just a hottie.
Yeah.
That's what else can I say? She's a hottie. Absolutely.
She's great. I saw a picture. It looked like one of the festivals where she had a mic to you, like she was interviewing.
Yes, interviewing. Yeah, she's great. She did one of the murmurs with us, didn't she?
Well, she was a regular for a few years with me, but then she came back.
She's
and helped us out.
She's a terrific performer. She really is. And
lovely.
She throws great pictures on Facebook, so follow her.
There you go.
Right? I mean, I'm not
two
wrong.
creepy guys. Absolutely. All right, I have All right, yeah, 2 more names.
Okay.
Linda Bartolomeo.
Oh God, Linda, the heart, as you like to say, the heart and soul of Knock 'Em Dead comedy.
Absolutely.
This woman is so funny, and she comes from Mastic, and she drives to Tony's house every Wednesday to do rehearsals. And the first thing she does is when she comes in the door, she kisses everybody, and then she says, "Where's the motherfucking bathroom? I gotta pee." She is such a wonderful performer. When she's on, we're all on. And we all feed off of her energy. I love her to death. She's great.
And the audiences feed off
they
that
love her,
too.
Yeah. And she does such a good Italian accent. It's tremendous.
She's.
What are you doing? I got Michael Bublé. Bobby Bublé. Who the hell is Bobby Bublé?
Oh, the first time she said that, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, hysterical.
Between that and her role in Our Redneck Wedding.
Oh, great, yeah.
Nobody tops her.
Linda's fantastic.
All right, the last name, we touched upon it earlier, Jeff Bosey.
I love Jeff. Jeff is really one in a million. I mean, probably one of the funniest human beings I've ever met on the planet. The things that come out of his mouth are just not to be imagined or believed, to be quite honest with you. Jeff's a great guy. I love working with him. When he came in at first, I was like, who the hell is this guy?
I think everybody reacts that way when they first meet him.
When you first see him in that wedding dress, you're like, oh my God, this guy is he's a brilliant performer. I love him. Love you, Jeff.
Yeah, that visual.
Yeah, it's scary.
We're not talking current times of people in drag or anything. That's their thing if that's what they want to do, but that's not what we're talking about.
Right.
Not to get political or anything, but it's more, Milton Berle, old school guy in a dress. So he's already ahead of the game with that visual.
Yeah.
But then he just lives right up to that hype.
He's great.
Fantastic.
And, he made me, we did a show out in Riverhead about a month ago, and he said something to me, and I just lost it right on the spot. I just was cracking up. I don't even remember what it was, but I'm sure it was something dirty.
He usually has one per show where he just hits one zinger and the place just, falls to the floor. And
he's terrific. I love Jeff.
Absolutely. All right. That will do it. Yeah, we went a little late. Thanks for hanging out today, pal. This was great. You come back anytime, pal. Open invite.
Great.
Anytime you feel like just walking in.
Sure.
Once again, promote this weekend.
Operation Volkswagen, Friday, Saturday, 8 o'clock. Sunday at 3, a matinee at the South Shore Theater Experience. Doors open at 7:30. Come one, come all. Support local theater. You'll love it. It's extremely funny, and we all need a good laugh in this day and age.
That's right.
And it's the following weekend as well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the South Shore Theater Experience in Lindenhurst.
Is Christopher Hackett in it too, or he just wrote it?
No, he just wrote it.
Oh, he's not in it?
He sat in for the first read.
Okay.
And even though it's his writing, I don't even think he believed what we were saying. And he will be at every show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's a great actor in his own right.
Great actor, yeah. Tremendous actor.
All right. Or this, you can go see a great play, or if you're just in the mood for some stand-up comedy, come on over to Governor's this weekend. Some of the comedians you'll see on a Governor's stage this weekend. Drew Fraser, the Men of General Hospital will be here Sunday. Whoop-de-doo. Jeff Dale, Greg Radin.
One of them just got killed. From General Hospital.
Well, he's a former. Yeah, did you hear this story?
I just saw that he got shot.
He was on a set filming whatever. The shoot went until 3 a.m. Okay. Him and another coworker, they're walking out. They're going to his car.
Right.
They see a couple of guys messing with the car. So he thought he was getting towed. So he runs over to stop them. So he confronts them. He says, "Hey, guys, I'm here. They turn, and he sees that they're wearing masks, so they realize these guys, boom, shoot him right in the face and killed him.
Jesus Christ.
Johnny Wachter. My apologies, I don't know who he is.
Wow.
But yeah, is that 37 years old?
Unbelievable.
I mean, if he knew they were robbing his car, they were stealing the catalytic converter. If he knew that, I would hope.
Let him take it.
Right,
yeah.
Just let him go. I'll just stand back.
How do you shoot somebody just to steal a catalytic converter? What do you do? Sell it for $100?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
What is wrong with society?
I hear you. It's a shame.
It really is.
Very sad. Again, 37, so young. I don't know if he's got family. I don't know, but
terrible.
Jeff Dale, Greg Radin, Ron Nobles, Sasha Serbulish, SRBULJ. There's one vowel in this word.
Hold on, I got it.
SRBULJ. Serbulj?
Wow.
Well, anyway, that guy is playing Governors this weekend. Our pal Eric Casson is playing Governors this weekend with Mike Keegan and Carla Okeson and Sean Brown, Alvin Kwai, Joe Curry, Moody McCarthy, Joey Vega. Just some of the names you'll see on the Governor stage this weekend. Go to govs.com, make your reservations. And don't forget, at the end of September, it's a big weekend at Governors. You can see Knock 'em Dead Comedy at the Brokerage on September 27th.
Yeah.
The very next night, here in the Giggle Room, it's a game show night with Knock 'em Dead Comedy. We're doing Triple X Trivia. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Wait a minute. Triple X the movie or
No.
pornography Triple X?
Just adult-themed trivia. We'll be nice, too. We'll have some regular
okay.
trivia, but it's a Triple X Trivia night.
I've seen a lot of Triple X movies. So
Of course.
I may be able to win.
I think you could. There are prizes.
All right.
There will be prizes. And of course, don't forget, we'll be doing another murder mystery at McGuire's on December 21st.
Nice.
So make your reservations. Go to govs.com to make reservations to some great comedy shows.
Right.
Go to Knock 'em Dead Comedy. Check out our schedule, what we got going on, and, of course, information on how you can hire us for your private event, your corporate event, your fundraiser, your public event, whatever you got going on. And my apologies to you because, you've been working with us for 4 years, and I have not updated the players page. But within the next week or two, it should be fixed. So
Cool.
you will finally see your face
very
on
good.
knockindeadcomedy.com.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, you guys won't be disappointed if you hire Knock 'em Dead. They're great.
Absolutely.
It's such a nice time. It's a lot
Because
of
of
fun.
guys like him. Thanks again. Greg Halvorsen, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, everybody.
Everybody enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day. Hope you had a fun start to your day by hanging out with us. I don't know if there's anything on the rest of the day. Steve Squared on at 6:30 on Mondays. They're communists. They usually do their shows on holidays. So I think they're on tonight. They won't be in here because I'm done for the day. I'm going to barbecue. But we'll be back tomorrow. It's Tuesday Trivia here on the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show. I think I have a guest. I'm not sure yet. But you'll find out tomorrow when we're here. Tomorrow morning, Coffee with the Dog at 9 a.m. returns. Tomorrow night, Hershey and the Keegs at 9 p.m. They return as well. So it's going to be a fun week. Here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Share the link. Tell everybody you know about us. And subscribe and follow and do all that social media stuff. And go see Greg this weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you guys later.
Get home safe.
Yes. Go home safe and enjoy some